matters. Answering the call. Have you answered your call? Do you know what your destiny is? Do you know what your purpose is? If not, this particular show is for you. This conversation is definitely for you. Welcome back to the Morning Switch. Pastor, now let's talk about the book itself. What was the inspiration? You've already mentioned so much, of course, when it comes to the inspiration of writing this book, because people need it. Right? Talk to me about when you first started, the first couple of words, the first couple of chapters, the download that you spoke about.
So actually the book is based in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, which really explains our Genesis, our beginning, and the major questions there, the fall and rise of man. But the particular thing that stands out for me in the book of Genesis is that the man had a call. When God created man, he said, let us make man in our own image, that he may take over the land, replenish, subdue it, and reign. So there was purpose mentioned in one line, one sentence, everything was mentioned. And so I felt in my heart that this could have been God's most important thing to do, was to give man the ability to understand why he has been put on the earth. And I think there has to be a level of accountability. We have to understand that at some point, when years are gone, probably you're 70 or 80 years old, or if you make it there, you know, one day we'll all depart. And then where do we go? What do we say to the one who sent us here?
It's a very major question, I guess, in many people's minds. Chapter 1 talks about understanding the assignment.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people do get to kind of confuse their assignment and their purpose, because those might just be different, because assignments do change, don't you think?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the purpose is always going to be set. Assignments change over time. I like the way you put it. And I think for me is to understand that within your assignments, the ultimate purpose is always going to be there. Because, for example, if you've been called for something that is as big, probably covering nations, you won't start like that. There's going to be always a genesis and a beginning of that. And but every now and then, at every level of your life and every time, God is giving you an assignment. And these things can even go even from the place of just being a mother at home and raising children, or just being able to take care of your family. And all this can be purpose. The idea is to understand, what am I doing and how can I be able to fulfill? I have a list of about 4 questions that I think every man needs to ask themselves when it comes to purpose. Question number 1 is you need to ask yourself, what are those things that I easily do, excitingly but easily, but also have an impact on other people? Because all purpose is not selfish. It has to touch somebody else.
It's always connected to people.
Yes, exactly. So what are those things that you do excitedly and easily? Every morning, you wake up in the morning, even if you're not paid to do that, you still
do it.
You still
even
do
if
it.
they told you to wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning and do that very thing, you will still do it.
You still do it.
Absolutely.
The other question is, what are those things that you do that are impacting the lives of other people around you? So you have to see if it's touching other people, it's probably close to purpose. Yeah, it's not selfish, it's not self-seeking, it's more than just doing what you're doing inside of your life. And then the other question will be, is that those things that you're doing to other people, do they bring you joy? Do they bring you fulfillment? Because this is where it happens. I've seen people who've made all the money in the world and been so blessed, but still felt empty somewhat. Something isn't adding up. So, but when you find those things that you do that bring you a certain level of fulfillment, then probably you are in the area code of your purpose.
Absolutely. Now you're in a social media world where a lot of young people, from women to men or whatever it is, but I'm seeing a lot of social media posts of people who are saying, you can actually buy happiness. They're saying you can buy happiness through money. And so a lot of people, of course, there is that drive and that craze about, I'm going to chase the money, forget purpose, I'm going to do this so that I can get to this place, and then I will be happy. And what you're saying is, not a lot of people are as happy as they
I also think there's a big difference between joy and happiness.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Happiness is based on what's happening, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's that joy, which is eternal.
Yes. So when you get into the level of happiness, somehow it's going to end.
Yeah.
It's going to end with the event, with whatever it is. So I think, but purpose brings a certain level of fulfillment. I don't know about you, Victoria, but like doing what I'm doing now brings me a certain level of fulfillment that I cannot explain in any other way. And no amount of money can replace that.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
There's a grace and there's a flow, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, like, I know we can talk on and on about what is in the book, but we want people to find out for themselves and
Exactly.
get this book for themselves.
Yeah.
Tell me about the details. I know that's still coming. How can people get a hold of you? How can people watch or listen to some of your sermons?
Yeah, so we are online on YouTube. Looking, find us out on Destiny Matters. I think on almost on every platform, whether it is X or whatever it is, we are there. But we have a very powerful, blog or podcast on YouTube that airs every Sunday. Also, we air on Rest TV. But I believe that people can find us at House of Inspiration Church in Motondre if they want to listen to me. But a lot of my sermons are online.
Absolutely.
Also.
Now, you've got like 1 minute to give us a hot final word. How would you like to encourage the listeners and those who are listening to you this morning?
So I like to tell people that the reason why you're not fulfilled is because you haven't found your life purpose. I like to hand you a book that's going to change your story. Next month it will be released publicly. It's going to be online at some point. You could find it on Amazon, but also it will be sold in Uganda bookshops. And I like everyone to reach out and find. There's this saying they used to say, if you have anything important to hide from an African, hide it in
words and books.
In the books. But I don't think that is a story anymore. I wonder if that is really real to our generation. So I think there's a lot of information that's available for us, and the book Destined Matters Answering the Call is one book to buy that will change your story before you exit Earth.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Pastor.